What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ripstop on the Record. Also, our first episode of the new year. So, Happy New Year. I'm Jameson.
I'm Isaac.
And I'm Avery.
Carter here.
Today, we will be talking about our 2023 MYOG goals. So, you're going to hear about what we're planning on making, what sort of projects we're taking on, and maybe adventures we'll be heading out to soon.
And if you listened to our last episode with Amy from Motocot, then you heard her mention her to-make list. Today, we're talking about our to-make lists, and we're going to share them with you.
And hopefully us sharing our projects, whether or not you approve of them, will inspire you to make your own projects. And maybe 2023 will be an even better year than you thought it would be.
Yeah. Life,
man.
Tell us what you plan to make in the comments.
And we will be reading those comments. And if you post that you're going to make something really cool and we all like it, then nothing will happen, but we'll like it for sure.
and congratulate you.
Yeah, to the episode. So, to get into the good stuff, today we will each be sharing our main projects based on the topics that we've predetermined. None of us have heard the projects that one another would like to make yet, so these are going to be natural responses, hearing about what we're looking forward to making. Now, as for those topics, we will be going over apparel, because each one of us has talked a lot in future or past podcasts already about apparel projects that we'd like to work on. So we'll be working on apparel, then certain equipment pieces based on adventures or specific goals that we have, and then some another section or other for travel pieces or everyday carry pieces that aren't for a specific cause or apparel that we just want to put together. So to get into the good stuff, any questions or any notes to start?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Let's do it.
Excellent. So for section 1, apparel. We've already released Polar Tech, the Alpha Direct, the Gridstop, or the Power Grid, as well as some other things. So let's hop right into it. Isaac, you're currently making some apparel pieces. What do you have planned for this year?
So I'm currently working on Tim from Learn MYOG's Alpha Raglan hoodie. Started that this morning. I already sewed 2 pieces together that weren't supposed to be sewed together. So it's going great so far. But that was definitely my fault, not Tim's fault. His patterns are great. Other than that, I haven't really thought about apparel from things that, I don't want to give too much away, but fabrics that we may be releasing this year, I've thought more about what I want to make with that.
Without disclosing the fabric names, can you tell us what you want to make?
I would really like to make some pantaloons that are shorter.
Like capris?
Shorter than that. And you could possibly go swimming in them.
Swim shorts, I think they're called.
Swimming pantaloon.
Okay.
Cutoffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're also good for outdoor wear.
I see.
Well, I too would prefer to make some pantaloons, if I may jump in.
Yeah.
Out of maybe something secret that Isaac was referring to.
I'm not sure if the secret is the length or the fabric at this point, if I'm honest.
I think it's just decoding someone who's speaking in pirate talk. But no, I really want to make some. So my favorite thing to hike in is shorts. But one thing I realized is that I don't, especially in the colder weather, I don't really have any hiking pants that don't look really not cool. And I also find that a lot of hiking pants are not tapered, and I really prefer to be, aerodynamic, so I can really, I'm really moving quickly all the time. So I want to make some tech hiking joggers. So the inspiration for that is Patagonia has a hiking jogger called the Terrabon or something like that, and I have a few pairs of those. The problem is they're not quite stretchy enough, and they're also not quite tech enough. They're not that durable, and they also don't have any extra abrasion resistance or tear resistance or anything like that, or DWR, which I think is important. So yeah, that's something that I definitely want to make and will be making this year once perhaps we have a material that might fit the bill for said pantaloons,
Wink, wink.
tapered pantaloons.
Avery, what about you? What's on your mind for apparel in 2023?
Oh man. So I actually had this idea the other week, and you know when you like have an idea and you're like, no one has ever thought of this, and then you go to Google it and you're like, wow, I'm so dumb. But everyone knows your like classic zip off hiking pant. But I was like, why don't we have a zip off sleeve jacket? So I was like, why don't you have a puffy, but then make the sleeve zip off, and then you have a vest, you know, just for like your day to night transition. And I was like, I'm a genius. I'm going to be on Shark Tank and get $10 million. And then I Googled it and was like, wow, why am I living under a rock? And I've never heard of this. So I think working with down is super scary and working with zippers is super scary. So as much as I would love to do that, I think it's a little zealous.
You
but
can do it.
I would like
believe
to
in
make maybe some leggings. I need to like get better with my overlocking skills, but I go through some leggings. It's all I wear. So it'd be nice to make my own.
I actually had someone make me a custom down vest with removable sleeves before, like 4 or 5 years ago. And it was amazing, honestly. The only problem was that it was made out of DCF. I mean, I knew I did that on purpose even back then, but the problem was that at that time DCF only came in this like Jolly Rancher green, which doesn't even exist now. It might have been 8 years ago, actually, a long time ago. So I literally just looked like, I don't know, some sort of creature that comes out of the woods.
Like a really sick avatar.
Kind of looks like, you know, like how people used to get like tarred and feathered for like torture.
Yep.
But it was like someone, like I got licked by a dog and then I fell in a vat of like lollipops and they all just got stuck to me. But functionally, it's really cool. So another one of my favorite pieces of gear, which maybe I'll add this to the list, is I really like to wear like a down t-shirt in 2 to 3 season instead of a full jacket. Because especially now with like Alpha Direct and other things, you have all these different layering pieces that could keep your arms warm, and normally your arms don't get that cold. So I've had one of those before too, but I sold it because I don't know why I did that.
You still have like an unfinished down t-shirt project in your closet.
Yeah. Well,
that was the first time I think I saw yours.
I have one from Sierra Designs, which they discontinued. And then I made one halfway, and then I was like, why am I making this whenever I could just have a custom one made for me?
Fair.
Yeah. So then I did that.
Avery, what do you think? How do you think you'd approach the zipper on the sleeve arm region? Like, how do you think that could even go?
Okay, well, I think this is going to lead into our next podcast episode. That will be all about zippers, and obviously I didn't go to school for apparel design, but I was thinking like one side of the coil zipper would be on the shoulder side,
Sure.
and then the other side of the coil zipper would be like, you know, you would have one edge on the shoulder and one edge on the removable part, just like zip off pants, how you have like, you know, a zipper on both sides, but then when you put them together, it zips fully. I'm probably butchering the logistics of that, the technicality, but in my mind, it makes sense.
I mean, I think that is how you would do it. You would just have to consider the zipper placement in relation to your armpit. You definitely don't want to get you don't want to get any armpit hairs stuck in the old zipperino.
Especially my armpit hairs. They're long.
Dude, I don't know how long they are. I'm just saying, you got to be careful. I still think you should make that though, Avery.
I feel like there's a practicality to having some like zipper venting there, because a lot of jackets have like a pit vent regardless. So it might actually be kind of nice. Like you could just make the zipper like a U and like leave a few inches just for some, get some airflow.
The sleeves that I had actually were more like almost like a shoulder holster thing from like James Bond.
Oh yeah,
so they were elasticized and they would go So there was no zipper or anything, but they would like go over. They were connected to each other with basically like a back
Yeah, that's what I'm
strap,
thinking, like a shawl almost.
Yeah, so when you put it on, and they were elasticized, so as soon as you got them all the way on, they just stayed on the jacket all the time, so they actually weren't connected.
That's cool.
But I like the idea of the zipper because then, like, you could actually wear that in public. You can't really wear a... You can't just walk around looking like a half an Iron Man everywhere you go.
That's a good look. I like that a lot. Yeah, so my apparel goals this year start with a crew neck out of Power Grid. I'm getting really tired of high necks on athletic wear. I don't know what it is, but like specifically when I'm running, I have the Patagonia Capilene quarter zip. I have the Patagonia R1. I have an REI half zip. I have a few Nike quarter zips from soccer days and stuff. So I feel like a lot of the things in my closet and a lot of things that I see out there have like a 2 to 4 inch like collar that like zips all the way up. Or if you unzip it, then it just like really floppy. And most of the time I'm wearing this when I'm running, so it eventually gets sweaty. So then it's like wet and floppy, and it kind of like hits my neck as I'm running. And I'm just kind of getting really tired of just like having everything be high necked, especially in North Carolina. I'm not running frequently when it's below 20 degrees, so I'm not really trying to keep my neck really warm. And if I am, then I have a merino gaiter that I'll just kind of throw on. So I'm really interested in finding good performance crew neck pieces, but then I was thinking, why not make one? So I'm kind of interested in making a crew neck out of Polartec Power Grid.
What about Sorry, I was going to say, what about a deep V?
Ooh.
Throwback to 2006.
I was going to say,
you do a deep V, but then just like Avery's idea for the sleeves, you get a removable V. So if it gets cold, you put the V back on.
Patch on.
And then also, if you wore a Superman shirt under it, when you took the V off, it would be like a little Superman logo in the V. I haven't thought about this before.
This is good. We're going in the right direction.
So I think that's a great idea. You already know I love. What are we talking about?
Apparel.
Apparel. I love apparel. Like a raglan sweatshirt, just a crew neck sweatshirt. I have like 40 of those. I love them. That's actually my number 2 apparel thing that I wanted to talk about, except for it's a little different. So what I really want to make, and no promises on this, this is just my hope,
Sure.
is that I would like to carry a printed version of Polartec, right? We've talked about that a little bit before. Again, don't get too excited. That's not like something that's happening at this moment. But if it were to happen, then I would love to be able to get, perhaps a Dale Earnhardt themed crew neck. However, I would want to put a kangaroo pocket on it that's insulated with ClimaShield so that I can carry a cold beer and keep it cold until I'm ready to drink it.
That would be so awesome.
I think it's a sick idea to have like a mini cooler just for like one beer or like whatever. If it's insulated with ClimaShield, then if your hands get cold, you can just put them in there. Or it's also functional for outdoors because outdoors. I don't know why I said it like that. It's functional for outdoors.
For the out of doors.
Keeping your filter from freezing is a thing that you have to do in fall and winter, and mostly winter here only. But yeah, if it was a technical piece, then that means that you could just put your filter in that little insulated pocket and just not have to worry about it. So that's my ambitious apparel goal.
Yeah.
Who knows if I'll actually make that? I'll probably end up designing it and then hoping one of you guys makes it for me or something. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparel's still really scary. Like, I'm really excited about projects. Like, I really want to make a pair of DS shorts from Learn MYOG. I'd love to make the Raglan hoodie. But
The ass.
It just sounded funny because,
The ass shorts.
you almost said it like a dad in a Mexican restaurant. He's like, Buenos Dias?
DS question mark?
Yeah. We probably have to cut that out, but
I don't know. Apparel's still really scary. I'm inspired to try, and I feel like I have to eventually just jump in. But at this point, I don't make too many things that aren't functional in some capacity. That was kind of like a 2021 me. 2022 maker version of me is a lot more focused on making things that actually work. I'm going to have to channel a little bit of that old maker in me just to be like, I'm going to try to make this apparel thing, and it's probably going to be terrible, but let's do it anyway, because I have to kind of break down that barrier eventually. And I'm going to actually have to use patterns.
I'm honestly surprised it's taken you this long because, like, well, when you made the beanie, like, you made a beanie, right?
Yeah.
That's what I
made
thought.
3, 4.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, you made one, and you were at first you're like, oh, serger, I don't know, and then you're like, oh, this is actually easier than sewing.
Well, you told me I couldn't use the serger.
Well, without
I was
showing,
hesitant.
without me showing. Well, at that time, you got to remember that I have to be very careful with you because you'll just get super excited about something when somebody's not there, and we'll come in and you'll have 46 raglan hoodies that you've made all around. So it's not that I wouldn't let you use it. It was that I was warning you against going on one of your little tears where you don't know what you're doing, and then you end up putting your finger in there and chopping it off or something like that. But it wasn't because it's like a difficult. Well, it's actually really hard to thread a serger, but yeah. And that was mostly what I was worried about, if I'm being real honest, because somehow when you're around the machines, they just get threaded weirdly or not at all.
All right, section number 2 is gear. So these are pieces of or a project that we're working on for a specific cause or adventure, if we have one, or honestly, there's not a huge delineation between gear and other. We just wanted a bit of a section. I have an adventure I'm particularly working on. That may just be me. So, Avery, do you have a gear project on your mind for 2023?
That's a great question.
I mean, your whole van is a gear project if we think about it. But
yeah, we'll get to that later. There's definitely been things on my to-do list, like making my own hammock setup. I would also really love to make a backpack because I haven't done that yet. But some of my friends are going to do the High Sierra Trail this year and invited me. So if I'm able to do that, it'd be awesome to carry my own backpack for like 70 miles and say that I did like a mini through hike with it. I think I get nervous that, like if I make it and it breaks, I'm going to be really mad at myself in a different way that it would feel if like I carried someone else's backpack and it broke. I'd just be like, oh, but then I'd be like, just all the self shame of, of beating myself up about not doing better stitches or whatever. But yeah, I would love to make a women's specific pack. I've used a bunch of different packs when I was a hiking guide, and it's hard to find a pack that fits a short statured lady the right way. It just doesn't. Yeah. It's just not the same. Even like if you go to REI and put the sandbags in the backpack and you can feel what it's like. It's not the same until you're out there using it. So you put it on and you think it feels good, and then it's like digging in your hips because it was made for someone that doesn't have curves. So I think it'd be fun to make something that fits my dimensions a little more appropriate, and possibly use some custom printed challenge EPX 200 now that we released that. So I'd love to do like a drawing or one of my favorite photographs printed on fabric and have that made into a pack. So it'll be my goal. You guys can help be my accountability buddies this year. Motivate me.
I'm happy to. I think that's awesome. I'm happy to help you design that and figure out like anything you want. I really do like designing stuff more at this moment than I do doing the making part. But I still get very excited by like figuring out, okay, how are we going to anatomically shape these straps?
Yeah.
Because I've also tried like hundreds of shoulder straps. Also, we might have to cut this out, maybe not. But when you said short-statured woman, I was like, is that a song by AC/DC or something? It's like, she's a short-statured woman. It was like the first thing I thought of. I don't know why. It just sounded. Anyways.
Avery,
I think that's awesome.
What design features would you add on your pack? Like, I know you have a Gossamer pack. I've seen one or two others, but like, some people really bottom pockets. They want the roll top. They want a zipper. What would you add?
I think for me, it's about getting the straps right. Kind of like what Carter said. I mean, obviously women have different shapes up top than men do. It's just like
breasts.
Yeah, we have boobs. And a lot of the times the straps like dig in on the side. I would like to do something more of like a running style, more of like want to say like pliable material, but something just that has a little more give that can like make more shape when you're strapping in, I think would be more comfortable than just like a rigid strap. So maybe like a type of a running vest strap, because those are a little bit thinner and I feel like they do kind of have like a little bit more give and shape to them. Like it kind of forms to your own body when you're wearing them. So definitely that. I like a roll top because especially as you're like doing a long hike, it just gets smaller and smaller. And that always feels good when you're like, oh, I can roll it down 2 more times today because I ate more food. Bottom pockets are cool. I know they're like all the rage. I mean, I guess you can add it. You don't have to use it. I don't see like I'm not like, I have to have a bottom pocket. I mean, be pretty easy to add, but I'm not, it's like, so you can put trash in it or whatever. But yeah, definitely like a running vest type of strap is what I'm most interested in, to get it to fit right. And then just making sure that the length of the pack fits right on my back and the hip belt. So pretty simple. Nothing too crazy out here.
Isaac, what's on your gear list for this year?
Well, you're probably all going to think it's super nerdy, but I've recently gotten into amateur radio. So I got my technician class amateur radio license, call sign KQ4 FIU, if anybody cares to know.
I thought you were like a guarding thief or whatever. Oh, that's Dungeons and Dragons.
So anyways, I want to do, there's these things in amateur radio called SOTA or Summit on the Air. So it's basically where you like hike up to a certain coordinate on a mountain, and then you like make a contact with someone over your radio. And so like the goal is to like, keep track of how many summits you've made and how many contacts you made. And then you get like different points for the difficulty of the summit, all that kind of stuff.
Is it just to like flex on the other person that you're talking to, or
no, it's just like,
fun?
Yeah, it's just for fun.
Kind of like doing the whatever 48 peaks or
like geocaching.
I was going to say, it sounds like geocaching, but with a radio.
Same concept. Okay. But anyways, one of the things that I really like carrying with me on day hikes is a poncho that also doubles as like an emergency shelter or just a tarp. So I want to design a DCF poncho tarp, which I know is a thing. Plenty of people have done that before, but I want to make my own.
That's cool. Do you have any ideas of fabrics and stuff right now?
DCF.
Yes. Which one, Isaac? Thanks for that.
5.0 DCF.
Probably like 0.67 camo, just because I like 0.67.
I should have. I don't know why I asked.
Yeah.
So that would be like the head hole. Like, how does that? Is that like the military poncho jacket mixture thing, or what's just like a big rectangle? I don't even know what that looks like.
Yeah, so it's basically a big rectangle with a hood in the middle of it, and then it has tie-out points on like the 4 corners, and then depending on how you want to set it up, you can put like additional tie-out points on it too.
Bro, you don't know about Grandma Gatewood?
No, I do not, unfortunately.
The Gatewood Cape?
That doesn't ring a bell either.
You need to look up Grandma Gatewood after this.
Apparently
I don't know who that is either.
Avery, do you know who that is?
Better.
Well, there's Grandma Gatewood, who is the lady who through hiked the AT with she had 13 grandkids. There's a book. She's really famous. And then there's the Grandma Gatewood Cape. And isn't that by Lighthearted Gear?
It's by Six Moon Designs.
Six Moon Designs.
And it's based on what she used in her through hike, which is a poncho tarp.
Isaac, turn this around. Show the class.
I do want to say I think ponchos are highly underrated. I hiked in a poncho.
Agreed.
And I loved it. You don't get weird smelling or sticky. You get a breeze. And if you're as short as I am, it's basically also rain pants. It comes down past my knees. So I don't need a rain skirt or rain pants. I love my poncho.
Yeah. But I guess to finish what I was saying, the reason that I would want this for specifically doing the radio stuff is so that I have rain gear with me, but also if I'm sitting somewhere in the woods, talking to somebody on our radio for a while, I also have a tarp that I can set up.
So wait, what do you guys talk about on the radio? Are you like exchanging information, or are you like getting their life story?
Honestly, it's mostly old people that are on the radio. So
Really?
they just like, yeah, I know, big surprise. So they just like tell you their life story, and you talk about like how long you've been on the radio, and then yeah, I don't know, whatever else you want to talk about.
What's the most interesting thing you've heard on the radio so far?
I heard a couple guys having a conversation about the best gas-powered backpack leaf blower.
Really?
Yeah.
I know. I said the most interesting.
Wait,
thing,
what was the best? What was the best?
I don't know. I think it was like one model of steel that I don't know. It's definitely an interesting conversation.
If you do all the stuff for me, I'll join. I'll be radio boy with you. I just don't want to take you had to like go to school for that. That's a lot.
You just have to study questions.
Yeah, that's school. I don't. It is pretty.
We were on Carter's birthday trip. We were in Richmond visiting some friends and playing some Top Golf and stuff. We like sat down to watch bike YouTube videos, and Isaac like whips out his laptop and starts like looking at stuff. We're like, what are you doing? It's a Sunday. We don't have work. He's like, studying for my radio license.
And he passed first time.
Still diligent boy. All right, so
I think you're up.
yeah, I don't want to say it's a cop out, but I did make it last year. But I got a new bike at the end of 2022, so I do need to make a new bike packing rig, and that's something I'm really excited about. Now, the bike color is it's not a standard color, so I'm having a really hard time figuring out what fabric I want to use for the frame bags. And this bike has fork mounts. I'm going to make some dry bags for the forks and stuff like that. So I do want to do the bike stuff, but I won't dwell on that too much because I think I spent a lot of time last year talking about my bike packing setup already.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. But
Also, it's funny that you say it's not like a standard color, but literally all you mean by that is that it's not black or gray, which is for you the standard color, but it's still like a neutral.
It's not even like a blue. Well, I did a bunch of research today. I was like, okay, I'm going to find the RGB color or the hex code for the bike, and then go look at like color theory and figure like what the options are. And none of them are options that we have at all. Like I'd have to do a custom print fully, but like you can't use like a blaze orange. You can't use like Bahama blue or Moroccan blue or Swiss reds. Like none of those really work for the bike.
So what color is the bike?
It's matcha, is what they call it.
Is that like a green?
Yeah, it's like kind of like our sage.
It's like a sage with like a hint of like yellow in there.
It reminds me of Martian poop.
You do that a lot. You go there to Martian land.
Martian poop.
You be going to Mars?
No, y'all have never had Martian poop?
No,
I don't know what that is.
What the heck? No, I thought you were making a joke, and I was like, that is a strange thing to say.
Hold on. It's like...
Avery, what were you going to say about matcha?
I was just going to say...
Oh, I know what it is. It's like green Kool-Aid with ginger ale in it.
Mm-mm.
Hold on. Avery's talking.
I was just going to say that's like a very matcha. I don't know. Usually people name things after like outdoor colors. I'm thinking like picturing more of a lichen instead of a matcha, but whatever works.
I'll send you a picture. Okay. I don't know. Today I was looking at pictures I was looking at like the camos that have a black undertone. So like Typhon from Cryptek, what's the hex cam that's all black? I think it's Pompeii.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at some of those. I don't know, just like for a really cool pattern.
Oh, so you want patterns?
I was thinking about it just because I didn't have a color that I really liked yet.
Gotcha.
You should do something like completely different and use like printed 5.0 DCF with like a map of Mount Washington or something like that. Double print.
That's a cool idea. That's a really cool idea
because that wouldn't really like go with the color of the bike, but it would still look cool.
You should get all Lord of the Rings.
Oh my gosh,
maps on every single thing.
So going back to Martian poop. Go ahead, Avery.
No, you go.
No, you go.
So Martian poop is what my family, maybe it's just my family, I don't know.
I think so.
What I've always heard people call Watergate salad.
Who?
Like the Watergate scandal?
No, not.
Okay.
Oh, Watergate salad
pistachio
is
fluff.
It's similar to like ambrosia salad,
Yeah.
According to Google, it is a side salad or dessert salad. It's either Wagate salad. Breaks all the rules. It's crazy delicious.
Yes,
It breaks all the rules.
it does. It's very
Crazy delicious
It breaks
concoction.
the rules of being appetizing. It breaks the rules of being
pistachio pudding,
normal
Cool
name.
Whip, pineapple, and marshmallows.
that.
And it's like green.
I do know what that is now.
It sounds kind of good, actually.
You can bring it to our next company potluck.
Yeah.
You mean our first? No.
Yeah. Next and first.
But yeah,
Anyways,
the other thing I do want to make is just I'm kind of getting back into ground camping. I guess I'm relearning ground camping now that I'm no longer a Boy Scout and carry a 90-pound load with me and sleep in a 4-pound backpack or 4-pound sleeping bag. Sort of reinventing things. Last couple of years has been all about hammock camping. So I don't know, interested in making a ground tarp or something like that.
I'm excited to see all these things you guys make. I guess it's my turn.
That's you.
So I have two, and they're both pretty simple, so I'll just say them together. The first one is I just want to, so I have the Durston X Mid 2P tent, and I would like to use a ground sheet, but not to protect the material, but just so it doesn't get all dirty and wet and annoying. However, since it's only serving that purpose, it has to be extremely light for me to want to carry it. And I have the footprint that you can buy, but it's not light. So I want to remake it out of 0.51 DCF sometime soon.
That's cool.
So that it's worth carrying.
just use 0.34.
I'm not going to use the 0.34.
Why not?
I think that there are better applications for that fabric, like
Rain skirt.
no, maybe like light duty stuff sack that you hang from your closet that doesn't hold anything.
For the, you said you already have the footprint
Yep.
that you can buy. What do you think that's made out of right now? Like, what sort of weight savings would that be?
I don't know what it's made out of. It looks like it's not the same material as the tent. I don't think. I think it's a PU coated polyester or something like that. Maybe like
Which means it's probably
40D
over 2 ounces.
per square yard. Maybe, but
Significant weight.
0.51 DCF is the lightest thing that you can make.
Yeah.
Like polycro or whatever that a lot of people use is heavier than that.
What is 0.5? I don't remember the weight of Tyvek. What does that look like? Or
Way heavier.
Really?
I think
Cool.
it's like 2 ounces per square yard.
Gotcha. What would you have to do to are there like tie outs? You have to hem it? Would you tape it?
Yeah, so the reason I didn't, like, I know the shape of the footprint already, so I could have just cut that out and made it. I wanted to see how they do the attachment to the outer tile to the floor because it's a parallelogram.
Oh, I see.
So I bought it just so I would know exactly how long, like, to make the shot cord pieces and stuff so that it just hooks in. So I'll just transfer all that over. So that's,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the most creative thing. It's more of like
It's kind of a
It's more
necessity thing,
functional.
though. Yeah, or highly
Yeah.
functional.
The next one is an Alpha Direct sleeping bag liner / summer quilt. I really want to make this because it's super simple. And also I think Alpha Direct is a perfect material for that because you can just use it, if it's 60 degrees out and you just need a little warmth. And then obviously it can boost the temperature rating probably up to 7 degrees, I would guess, in your quilt or your sleeping bag. So it's versatile in that you could, it does a lot of things. Also, one thing I really dislike, and this is not as much in down quilts because there's sewing there, but there's no ultralight like 7D or 10D fabric that feels awesome,
Yeah.
right? Like I think ours, especially like the Membrane 10 Ripstop and the Mem 7, feel as good as they can, but if it's like 50 degrees or 40 degrees even, there's something about like the feeling of nylon on your skin if you get like a little sweaty or whatever that's not the best.
Yeah.
So I think this would do a good job of adding some texture and creating like a layer. It also keeps your quilt clean, which is nice if you get sweaty. I just think it's a good idea to have something like that and it would be very lightweight. I mean, we're talking it might weigh like 4 ounces for the entire thing.
I'm thinking on the fly here, so might be a terrible idea. But would it be? I could imagine for a summer quilt, just taking like we were saying Alpha Direct with just like that Mem 7 as an outer fabric, just to break wind. That would be highly packable, but also really comfortable, right?
Well, I would hope like
But would you want to
Maybe,
break wind?
however, normally, unless if you're cowboy camping, I think that's fair.
I see.
But if you're in a tent or in a hammock, you don't need to cut the wind off of your body because you're.
Oh, yeah.
But, and also, like, at a certain point, 2.5 ounce Climate Shield quilts become about the same weight
Sure.
because that insulation,
It's really-
they're similar weights, right? But their Alpha Direct has different characteristics that would make it better for being breathable and fast drying and stuff like that. That a Climate Shield quilt is the best thing for a summer quilt, but I can't use one because it feels like you're inside of a hefty trash bag. So yeah, those are my two.
Yeah.
Whatever category we're on, I'm not sure.
Cool. By now you've noticed that we don't run any ads, and don't worry, that's not about to change. We do a lot of talking about new fabrics on here and social media and other places, but not enough is said about the fabrics that have already been on the scene for a while, and that's where these plugs come in.
Yeah, so our 1.2 Mountain XL Hybrid is a custom woven fabric that we designed to fill the gap for durable hammock fabric that isn't super heavy. With a comfort rating of 225 pounds, this fabric is much stronger and more comfortable to sleep in than other fabrics in its weight class.
We achieved this strength to weight ratio by using a high tenacity nylon 6/6 yarn, and it boasts 30% higher tear strength than our previous version. But to keep the stretch at a minimum, we included a diamond/box pattern to give the fabric a lateral and diagonal support. We call it a hybrid because the ripstop is actually 4 times thicker than the base fabric.
Our customers say that it's super easy to sew with and has a great texture, comes in 12 popular colors, and extra wide for increased comfort, and it's under $10. I mean, it's just a great option. I'm going to be taking a hammock that I made out of 1.2 in Coyote to HangCon this year. And if you want to look at it, come by.
Classic military boy color right there.
Yeah, I know.
Check out the 1.2 ounce Mountain XL Hybrid on our site today. You can find a link to this product in the episode description. Third and final category is other. So travel, EDC, stuff like that. Isaac, why don't you kick us off?
Sure. I think I mentioned it in a podcast at some point, but I built a drawer system for my truck. It's similar to the decked drawer system.
Really well done.
Appreciate it.
You did a great job.
Thanks. Yeah. So next step for that is organization. So I really just want to make a like a big tool roll for like my standard tools that I carry, like wrenches, sockets, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my big one.
What does that look like? Fabrics, components,
Probably be like 1000 Cordura,
multicam.
maybe multicam black.
Whoa, that's not
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's getting a little.
Getting out there.
That's a little colorful, dude.
Yeah, I know. Probably have some slots for wrenches,
Mhm.
and then like removable bags
Oh,
that I can put like sockets and
sure. The loose ends,
zip
like the
ties,
smaller bits.
yeah, like small stuff.
That's cool.
And then it'll just like all roll up.
Yeah.
And
Simple but useful.
Yeah.
Also very functional. You made, I know this isn't next year, but you just made a really cool project for your hunting rifle
oh yeah,
a couple weeks ago.
it's basically like a dry bag for a rifle. I made it out of X50 woodland camo.
You better hope you don't like need to be seen for something. Like if you actually get lost, like what the hell are you gonna do? You're just be holding up different camos every time the helicopter goes by. They're just like, oh, there's more trees.
He's going to have to like flip the bag inside out, whatever he
You gotta
has.
start lining everything in blaze orange reflective.
Yeah, that was a cool project though. Avery, what about you? What's on your other list?
I'll try to keep this mostly sewing related, but I am really trying to finish my little van. I have a 2010 Ford Transit Connect, so it's not like what you think when you see the Ford Transits. It's like a city van. So I guess sewing related for that would be I need to do like some blackout curtains with maybe some like Apex insulation just to add a little warmth to the van for the windows. And then I'll definitely have to do some cushions. I feel like I can see the end in sight, but then I'm also like, this is never going to get done. And my standards are pretty low. Like, I slept in the woods on the AT for 6 months. So even just sleeping on the subfloor of a van feels like freaking 5 stars. So trying to get that done, I really just have like the walls and to build out a bed and a cabinet around the refrigerator that I got for Christmas, which is super exciting. So think of like a mini fridge, like a college mini fridge. It's basically what it is, but like 12 volt for an RV. But the coolest thing is that it can open from either side. So like you can open it to the left or you can open it to the right. Like you don't have to change the layout of the door. It'll synonymously open like back and forth. So I was pretty excited about that.
That's pretty sick, honestly.
I know.
I was gonna say, is it a Dometic or like a?
It's a bodega, so that
Bodega.
it's a little bit cheaper than the domestics or whatever that other really expensive brand is that
Dometic,
I cannot
Dometic,
afford. But yeah, I got the little fridge, so I've never been so excited about a mini fridge in my life. I'll be more excited when I can like put a beer in it. It's going to be cold for me. But
From
yeah,
both sides.
yeah, I can't wait to show you guys.
Why do I want to buy this?
I know.
Maybe I'll have
That's
it
so smart, though.
ready by trail days at least, so we can get like most of it. I can show you guys most of it. That's a good goal for me.
Are you gonna put like a diesel heater in your van?
I thought about it, but it's really hard you have to like mount the diesel under the car and then like drill holes through the bottom of the vehicle. And it's such a small van that I just get worried about like toxic fumes and carbon monoxide and that kind of stuff. So I don't really intend on like, I don't intend on like winter camping in Colorado in my van. I mean, I'll probably go where the weather is best, like most van people. So I'm not like stuck inside in 10-degree weather. I thought about it. There's like some Chinese aftermarket ones, but I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's cool. So you said curtains, cushions. Did we miss anything else on your van build?
Curtains, cushions, and then I'll definitely do like a privacy curtain that separates like the cab. And I'll do it on like a little one of those like low profile curtain tracks. It'd be cool to like, I mean, I want to make my own curtains, maybe put some pockets in the back just so I can have like more extra storage to put like a book or, you know, things like that. So pretty simple projects, but if anyone has any tips on sewing with magnets, let me know, because I know that that's not a fun part of doing the window insulation curtain roll up magnet things, because the magnets just get stuck to the foot in the machine. Oh, no. So I'll have to do some research. I know people do it all the time. I just haven't put the cart in front of the horse, so I'm just trying to take it step by step. But yeah.
Isaac, have you sewed with magnets before?
No, I think it was for the Community Maker Challenge, though.
I decided not to. I did.
He was going to do it for his
the cycling
jersey.
I've sewn with magnets before, always in places. I think it was like I've done a few things where it was like either a magnetic closure on like a dry bag or like a stuff sack. But normally I would do it like in spots where it wouldn't matter if it was stuck to the machine, or you would just like put your finger in between it or a piece of cardboard to slide. Like I've embedded it in grow grain. But I haven't done anything like fancy. At all.
Cool. I would be interested in sewing with magnets. I feel like there'd be some cool aspects to that.
The coolest thing ever is magnetic zipper. Yama Mountain Gear used to have, they might still have it, but they have like insulated rain pogies instead of like full-on mittens. And the bottom is like magnetic that just like opens up and then closes back. It's the coolest thing ever.
That's awesome. That's genius.
It is. I thought about carrying it, but it's like not a viable option for
like mass selling.
Stuff. And using like. Most people aren't going to be able to implement that into a project very easily.
Complicated. Carter, what's on your other list?
Honestly, I didn't realize how many that I would have, like 2 or 3 in each of the other categories. So I really don't have an other right now. But I'm sure that something will come up. yeah, I'm not sure. I was trying to think like, oh, do I want like to make like something for the office, like a computer case? No, I don't. Yeah, so I don't really have anything for this one, but I imagine that I'll be making even more apparel than I think as we continue to round out. I thought of something. I would like at some point to make some sort of hat that has a bill. I don't exactly know. It would need to have function over a regular hat for me to care about making it. Yeah. So I don't know if I would make maybe like a merino hat or something like that, even though we don't have merino. I'm not sure, but that's been a goal of mine for a while.
You can do an insulated hat and have a secret pocket, so you can have like a beer, but it's like insulated inside your hat, so you can get into like sporting event games easier.
I'll look like Cindy Lou Who from the Grinch.
It'll be like a 10-gallon bucket hat.
I could be convinced of almost anything that will hold a beer. Like anything.
I was going to try and put your water bottle on my head to see what it would look like, but then you took it away from me.
I thought, plus size to the hat would be no one would know you have a beer. They would believe you have a normally shaped head, and you would get through TSA with a beer for sure.
Yeah, although with the weird shaped head, they might think I'm like a Martian. But on the plus side, Isaac's family would definitely come into my bathroom if they thought I was a Martian to get some of my poop.
You know, from what I've heard, it breaks all of the rules.
They're gonna harvest your poop for Easter supper.
As long as it's harvested with a bidet, the fire hose for your butt.
Oh no!
So much editing.
I think we can leave that in. I thought it was a nice callback. I worked hard on that. I thought about that like 1 or 2 seconds before I said it.
So my other projects. So let me just give a precursor. This is mainly for Carter and Isaac. No one else will, I don't think, care as much. I would say 90% of my projects end up in the other category of the things that I sew. So when I say I have these two, these are probably the things I'm going to make in the next quarter, and then there will be like 100 other things. Number one, I really would like to make more dog apparel. My sister just moved to New Hampshire, and she has, it's like a big dog. It's like 50, 55 pounds, but she's incredibly thin, and it just freezes her dog behind off like whenever it gets below 30 degrees. So I want to make, I might make something out of the Power Grid, might even get crazy and try to make like a Climate Shield dog jacket. But I don't know. Dogs are cool. And I'm not a big fan of dog clothing all the time, but if it's for staying warm, then all about it. So that'd be kind of fun. And then the other thing, this was one of my big projects last year that I couldn't quite get to work. It was really frustrating. But I've had this one backpack that I've had since like my freshman year of college. So it's totally destroyed, been everywhere, totally wrecked. And I haven't found like the perfect EDC backpack since. I have found one that I really, really like. Carter gave it to me, but I really feel like this weird pride thing. I should make my own EDC backpack for some reason. Like I really have to make one on my own.
I think you need to work on that
because that backpack you gave me is perfect for my camera and all my camera equipment. Right. So I have to make a backpack either way. So yeah, I did make one that I thought I really liked. I made it with like a central zipper and like 2 pockets on the outside and we'll talk about some in a minute, 2 water bottle pockets. It had like an external laptop pocket as well. But the water bottle pockets only fit like a shot glass. I may have missized the accordion pocket slightly or massively.
So you could also fit a small child inside the backpack.
Yeah, the backpack was oversized. It's probably 35 liters. The water bottle pockets only fit a shot glass or one of those ice drinks. Other than that, it's perfect. Really cool. Made out of the multicam black X.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Yeah, it's the backpack's made out of multicam black. That's on my desk right now. That is also RX-36 central zipper.
Does it have reflective stretch mesh on it? Mm-hmm. Do you have one that has that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's RX-15 or 30. That's 15. Yeah.
Anyway, that one looks really cool.
Yeah. It is so close to being exactly what I want, except for the fact that I can't put a water bottle in there, and that's just useless. Like I can't.
I have a suggestion we could talk about later,
and it's a little bit too big. So all to say, I really would like to make just like work backpack that I can put my laptop in, that I can travel in, that has water bottle pockets that are actually functional, and something a little bit smaller in liter capacity. But note to self, I will not make a central zipper again. It's like kind of cool, but it's way cooler like just throw some running clothes in for a lunchtime run than it is to like open your backpack every single time with a central zipper and you can't get into the top loading. So that's a big one. I have like really specific pocket designs in mind. Like I have to have an external laptop sleeve because I find that really helpful, especially for traveling. Just like pull it out and throw it on the conveyor belt for TSA and stuff. So yeah, I don't know what fabric I'm going to use, but it's probably going to be RX-36 if I'm honest. It's the best fabric around.
It looks
Very professional.
looks wonderful.
Yeah, it's a nice fabric. Cool. Well, that really wraps up the episode. Thank you for listening. Send us your to-do lists or your to-do lists, or for me, the F around and find out lists. Find out, see how bad you are at making things.
You're great at making things. Never let me talk bad about you. You can't talk bad about me.
Yeah. Episode 62, we're going to be talking all about zippers, doing a deep dive seminar style episode. So check in for that. And if you're going to HangCon, then you can see everybody else there. And we'll see you all soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.